Okay, my name is Charles Obiakor. Again, I've said it in the videos. I'm a student at NIU, Northern Illinois University, studying higher education and student affairs, and in graduate school. So I want to get straight to the point about certain ideas I've been learning in the program of higher education. So as a program, you have the obvious networking, you have the obvious connections, and the department values that bring up foster not only intelligence in students, but it also helps students to be motivated so that when they come in as freshmen and they continue into sophomore and junior, and when they continue into senior and get into their master's degree and PhD, the purpose as it connects to students across the world is to help them, guide them along the way, and give them the motivation to learn these principles in higher education and network, and to get them motivated on their studies. I've mentioned, ideas in other videos. I am a proud black man. I'm Nigerian and Jamaican, um, from the Igbo tribe, born in America. But here's the thing. I mentioned, of course, the black on black issues, but you also have white racism. And I'm not saying all white people are racist, but you see, you have white people that have institutions which are still racist to this day, and are operating in very, I guess you could say, contradicting levels. Although there's a time that black people and white people can unite, at least the good among the two. But there seems like there's a lot of evil in our world. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other, especially, but only those that are willing to change. When you have things that are happening, again, like I said in the other videos, with the Democrats and Republicans, there's good and bad ideas for both. Personally, you have the Democrats. I think they are in the best position and they have the best ideas because normally they are equalitative. Republicans are usually conservative, so they have these values that they stand on straightforward conservative values. But normally that's if it's going to be straightforward moralitative, or I don't know if I use the right word, but moral values, but it's not solving an issue. I'm not saying they can't solve issues, but it's not solving the problems. What are we doing here? And again, as a black man, I don't want to pull the race card all the time. Of course, you're going to have your vices among black people, how we treat each other. We're going to have black on black issues, black on black hostility. But then, and there are many great white people I've seen, great people of every race. But then you'll have your whites that in some way and in many ways can be racist and have racist institutions. And with considering the black experience as it applies to higher education, you've had universities that were funded through slavery. You had universities that were based on negativity and exploitation of black people. And of course, Native Americans share the experience, Spanish share the experience, even if there may be, in many ways, issues amongst these other three groups as well. But I just want to spread ideas with the videos I'm saying. I'm not here, to engage in negativity. I want to think positive. I want to say, let's see how we can survive. I want to say, let's see how we can find ways to make the best survival choices, or best survival methods. Um, higher education teaches you discipline. It teaches you various ways that you can network. The idea of it in itself, higher education and student affairs, just that word alone means something that's powerful. And this is what I've been learning: the foundations, the principles, the rules, and a true idea of how education should be run. So I just wanted to spread that message again. And, again, you don't have to watch my videos, but if you do, go ahead and enjoy it. if you like. I'm not saying I'm the only one with the only views I have, but of course, there's a lot we can learn. You could be regardless of race, but then, sometimes as it applies to education, there could also be limited opportunities. You also have to mention people that have disabilities and people who have um, various setbacks in their upbringings or something that's happening in their everyday world. We have a lot happening in our government. We have the removal of DEI. We have a lot of things that are happening. A lot of people are not seeing the benefits of what they are working hard for. And that's why I preach survival. This is not a time that, you know, and now I'm not saying you should let negativity get in your way. Sometimes you do have to defend yourself. Sometimes you do, but I'm not saying let it escalate to that level or let somebody try to, step in your way or whatever the case may be. But it doesn't have to even I'm not even trying to, where I'm going. The point where I'm trying to say is, where do we go from here? As we continue to value ourselves and our ideas in higher education. I'm going to continue to keep doing research and speak on different things. I really enjoy my program, and yeah. Um, if I could backtrack a little bit, because this is kind of like an impromptu as well. Um, so you have the ideas, you have the thought process, then you have the actual foundation of the education value systems. And these are the things that are motivating people who are willing to make the effort, of course, and put these ideas into practice. And that's what leads to high quality education in our ever changing world. But I notice that there's a lot of evil in our world. I'm not saying it's everybody. And there's ways we could correct that. So right at this point, I just think it's survival, making the best choices. You can't do everything. I can't do everything, but I can do my best with my decisions. And we can do our best with our decisions. But, I can't save the world. I can only work with people that are willing to work with me. I never said I was perfect. I'm willing to learn. But that's part of the idea of conducting business. Thank you. Have a good day.